Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Andre. I'm a part of the faculty affairs team here at UAGC, and I'll be the host for this session. Vision boards for educators from personal goals to professional impact. By joining us today, you acknowledge that this session is being recorded and will be shared with TLC related materials. Microphones will be muted for this presentation, but we encourage you to post questions and comments in the chat. We have also enabled live transcription. If you would like to use it, please click the show captions button at the bottom of your Zoom window. Now, without further ado, I'm very pleased to introduce our presenters, Megan Neel and Crystal McCabe. Dr. Neel is an assistant professor at the College of Humanities and Social Sciences and has been at Grand Canyon University for a total of 15 years. Dr. McCabe is a full professor in the College of Education and has been at Grand Canyon University for the past 12 years. Dr. Neel, Dr. McCabe, the floor is all yours.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Andre. You're the best. Um, well, we want to thank you for joining us today. We really hope that this will be not only a fun, interactive discussion, but hopefully an opportunity to really stop and reflect and maybe even incorporate what you've learned so far today at the conference into something that's tangible that you can take with you and use not only for yourself, but hopefully with your students as well. I don't know if any of you have created a vision board before, but we might be discussing it in a slightly different way that will be relevant for you in a professional setting. Okay, so the big question is, what is a vision board? So, there basically, what you need to know about a vision board in the context of how we're presenting it is that it's a tool for motivation, for clarity, and for really building a road forward that will help you to create actionable goals and to really lay a path for success. So, it's an opportunity for you to define what your goals are if you haven't written them out yet or thought about them to really work through that process. And so it's an opportunity for you to dive into what your why is behind your actions, behind your daily tasks. I know sometimes we can get lost in the nitty gritty and the busyness of our own schedules. And so having the opportunity to really just stop and pause and think through what we are working towards can kind of get us out of that stalemate that we can sometimes find ourselves in. And so we will hopefully give you the opportunity to form some goals that will motivate you not only in your daily objectives, but give you a framework as far as moving forward. It should be also an opportunity to help you clarify your personal and institutional priorities. So that will hopefully help you to prevent burnout and increase your efficiency. And then also, it should be a practical tool for you. Vision boards, in the way that we are framing them, they are not just something that's aspirational, but it should be something that is actionable, where you can take what you are putting together today, you are applying it to your week, to the next year, and it's really going to be something that you can use as a foundation as you move forward. So we're excited to be able to build these with you. So our goals for this session, it'll be to identify some of the overlap between your own personal goals and values, and then also the mission and vision of your university or school. To also understand how a vision board can be used as a practical tool for goal setting and hopefully achieving your goals. And then lastly, we are going to have that element where you are going to be able to put together your own vision board. And so I'm going to toss it to Crystal for a quick pause and reflect.
All right. So to get us started, we have a Mentimeter set up that we'd love for you guys to do. We'll pop the link in the chat, or you can use the QR code to scan in and answer the question. But to get started, we want to pause and reflect and think to ourselves, what drives the work that you say yes to? Does it come from your passion, expectations, just habit, or maybe even just survival? So we'll get that. You can use the QR code and we'll also pop it into the chat. I can see some people are answering, so that is always good when you're using technology and the technology works. So maybe just a few more seconds for anybody else that wants to, but it's pretty interesting so far. Megan, I don't want to disrupt do you feel good about getting back to sharing the screen?
Let me stop share and then I'll let you start.
Okay. All right. And then, okay. Sharing the window?
Yep, you're all
Yep.
good.
Okay. So I think it's kind of interesting that it really only was two categories, either passion or expectations. But that actually is pretty interesting in itself too, that the majority is their passion. That is what drives most people, but we're also very much driven by the expectations of our jobs, of our family, of our lives. And so it's kind of interesting to see how that goes. I thought maybe we'd have some habit and survival, but that's completely okay. All right, let me stop share. We'll let you get back in there, Megan. Well, we want to thank you guys for sharing with us because whether we're driven by passion, expectations, habit, or survival, our motivators shape everything that we do. So, vision boards help us to take those motivators and turn them into clear roadmaps, connecting our personal passion with our professional goals so that we can move forward intentionally.
All right, are we back to the screen?
You are.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So, all of those whys and all of our motivation behind doing what we do day in and day out, pouring into our students, hopefully, a vision board as you create it can become not only a visual reminder for what you are working towards, but what those personal whys are. So, first thing is it needs to be visible in your day to day life. So, I know for me, when I was working to complete my dissertation, I needed to have my goals, my next steps written out every single stage of that process, just because I needed to have the reminder, I needed to have the motivation, needed to have that clarity, so that when things were difficult, there was something right there to remind me why I was continuing to move forward and helping me along the way. So seeing that every day was very important. So once you've drafted a vision board, setting that as your desktop background, printing it out, putting it above your computer, above a mirror, wherever it is helpful for you to see that day in and day out. Something you definitely will want to strive for. But basically, with a vision board, it's not also going to be something that is just never ending. It is not going to be something that is a scrapbook or a bucket list or a highlight reel. It should be something that has a goal attached to it, that has intention behind it. So for me, with my vision board, it goes through 2026. So the end of this year, beginning of next, and it's giving me that framework to be able to form goals and to create that path forward. So really, at least to me, the most important part of a vision board is just the strategic clarity that it can provide with giving you a long-term goal, but helping you to kind of shape those micro everyday tasks that you're doing towards something that's bigger. So giving you an opportunity to really structure your day, structure your work week into something that is also moving you forward in the direction that you want to go. So a vision board is not just something that is visually appealing, which it will be, but it is something that should be practical, it should be intentional, and it should be something that is not just decorative, but serves a purpose in your day-to-day.
And so when we think about that, it's intentional visualization. And with intentional visualization, that's the practice of creating clear mental images and of your desired goals or outcomes. It's training our mind to believe, prepare for, and then work towards them. And so intentional visualization fosters personal mastery, which is knowing yourself, your values, your purpose, your aspirations, and then visualizing helps clarify to you the person or professional you want to become. The shared vision helps to connect your individual goals to the larger purpose, showing how your growth contributes to your team, your classroom, or your community. And then that goal alignment integrates personal and professional hopes with commitments, creating coherence between your private and your public aims. And so from here, we'd love to take this to the next step. And so to get us started with that, we're going to look to find our overlap. And so we have a quick little activity that we'd like to do with you that's going to help it's going to help you to create your personal values, which can then start to align with your goals as we take this next step forward into making your vision board. All right. So on this page here, you can see that there are a list of 57 core values. Obviously, there's hundreds of them. But what I'd like you to do is I would like you to take a minute and I want you to jot down your top 10. 10 of these values that stand out to you. Maybe you'll just memorize your 10, but I'd like you to write them down if you can. Um, but we're going to give you a minute to do that. And by all means, this is yours. So if there's a value that's not listed here, you can absolutely add it to your list. This isn't the end all be all of the values you can choose. Okay, now for the harder parts. Now I want you to take that list of 10 and I need you to reduce it down to 5. So we're going to give you some time to do that. Take your list of 10 and reduce it by half. So to reduce it down to 5. Now for the hardest part of it all, I'm going to ask you to look at that list of 5 and I want you to reduce it to 2 or 3. So we are going to give you probably just like 30 seconds to do that so that we can move forward. But we want to get to 2 or 3 so that we have your top 2 to 3 core values. Okay, hopefully you found this to be helpful, but this is going to be really important as we take this to the next step.
Okay, so now that you've identified some of those personal values and your top 2 to 3, this would be an opportunity, Andre or whoever wants to drop in a link for the UAGC mission and vision to start to identify some of that overlap with your personal values. So at GCU, we do have specific attributes that we try to foster with our students and that we are measured on, with programmatic and assessment initiatives, things that we are having our students strive for and that we also strive for as faculty. And so something that guides us would be specific Bible verse, which is Philippians 2:3-4. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves, and let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. So really that external impact that not only you will be taking charge of by accomplishing your goals as faculty that's fostering students, but also achieving those goals will help you on a personal level to honor your personal values and also move you forward in the direction that you are intending to go. But we want to give you just a moment to start to pull that up to identify what some of those attributes are that your university is striving for you to achieve and is trying to foster in your students.
And
So
if you're not with the University of Arizona, you can look up your own university or school. You just want to look at the mission statement, the vision of the organization that you work for.
give you just a moment, and then we'll move on to an example of a vision board. All right, so here is my vision board. Want to point out a few things. So you can see that I have listed a few of GCU's competencies that we strive for. So being a global contributor, innovative thinker, effective communicator. So all of those attributes I included as a category. So it was a way for me to brainstorm in that particular area, kind of identify how I plan to grow and plan to move forward in those areas. So once you've identified through your university what some of those attributes are that you're working towards, you can also include your personal values that you have identified. And that will kind of give you a blueprint that very soon you'll have the opportunity to apply and to build. I also have listed on my vision board a word. So for me, that was momentum. Just building that momentum to move forward through the end of the year and into 2026 with these goals in mind. And some background on this whole exercise. There is published research this year, actually, on how a vision board is actually a tool that is very important for students in a large classroom setting to enhance their feelings of belonging. I know even in an online classroom, our students feel that nervousness that comes with being in an online setting where maybe they've only had that traditional classroom experience, they might feel slightly detached from being in an online classroom. So this is an opportunity for students to build their own vision boards and share that on the first day or the first day of a new semester to hopefully increase their sense of belonging in the classroom and to also see that investment that you're putting in to connect with them on a personal level. So you can always share yours out and complete this activity with them as well. But I will let Crystal share her vision board next.
So you might look at Megan's and you might think to yourself, wow, that was incredibly overwhelming and so beautiful. And that's because that's one of her many, many, many talents. I was hoping to make mine a little less because I am not that talented. And I want you to know that I spent very, very little time on it thanks to the template that Megan created. So that was very, very helpful for me to be able to make one for you that may be a little bit more realistic with the time you have today, or may just be more realistic for your abilities. Because I know I am nowhere near as talented as Megan when it comes to this. But her template was so easy to follow and allowed me to personalize it, but have what I needed so that it was easy to just kind of type on it to make it happen a little bit faster. So again, with Megan and I both working at the same institution, we have the same, we were kind of aligning with the same missional alignment there from our university, and you would do what works for your organization that you work for. But very, very easy for you to set it up. And like I said, thanks to this template that we're about to give you, it's going to make it a lot simpler to be able to type just right on it, pop some pictures in, but Megan's going to help you gain some of those beautiful talents that she has in creating this.
That's sweet. Thank you, Crystal. So if you want to drop in, we have a link for you. Let me go ahead and flip over here. You are able to grab this template from a cell phone, or you can also grab it from the chat. And you can save this template and you can share it with your students if it's something that you want to share with them at any point, or a colleague, or just save that template for a rainy day, whenever it seems like something you want to work on. But I want to give you a moment just so you can grab the QR code before I hop into a little tutorial on how to use it. So I'll give you just a minute to use that QR code. And if you have any questions as I go through the tutorial, please let me know. Okay, let me go ahead and stop share. I hope that was long enough. And let me go ahead and okay, switch over.
Many of you might be like I was. I had a word of the year. That was something that I had moved towards. And so, where Megan had hers, my word for the year was purpose. And so that was really, it was very helpful. And if you see this template that she's got here, you can use this, you can make changes, and she'll show you how to do that. But maybe it will already start to align with some of the stuff you've already started doing, or maybe if you've had a vision board in the past. I know a lot of times we very much focus on our personal goals. And so the idea of this one was to be able to integrate that alignment with our professional ones as well. And so hopefully you will see that this maybe meshes very easily together and you're able to do it like I was in a faster fashion. But then you have the time to go back and get creative and make it your own too.
So once you have the page pulled up, you'll start with just edit template, and Canva should let you write in. If it does prompt you, you may have to make a free account if you don't have one already. But with it being a template, it should just let you write in. So you can go ahead and hit edit template, and then you'll be brought to this. And if you need to create a copy at any point to share with anyone, or just to have an extra blank copy as well, you can hit make a copy here. But I'll start with kind of the back all the way to the front. So here's the background. If you see this purple bounding box, that's how you'll know what's going to be altered or what is highlighted for editing. So if you click that, you can then choose the background color wheel right in the center of the page, and you'll see all of the different options to be able to adjust as you see fit, whatever you prefer. And then that's the easy part. And then you can go ahead and edit text by just double clicking into any of the boxes where there is text highlighted. And if you click here for the font, you can grab any of the fonts that are available. They are all organized by category. So if you're looking for anything in particular, maybe a little bit more streamlined, feel free to click on any of those categories. And then you can adjust the size here manually, or if you just grab the bounding box around the text, you can just use the arrow to shrink or expand as you see fit. And then you'll see where the word of choice goes right here. If that's something you want to implement, if you have a favorite saying, if you have anything that's really one of your guiding principles or whys behind what you're doing day in and day out, whether it be a passion for educating your students or whatever one of those guiding principles are, you can include that here. And then to drop in an image, if you want to upload your own image, you can navigate to this pane on the left-hand side, and you'll just need to pop them in from your either upload history if you've been using Canva regularly, or just from your desktop or wherever you have that saved. And you can also copy and paste images right into Canva. They make it very easy to edit and to play.
That
If
was exactly what I did, copied and pasted.
Yeah, so easy now, so much better. Now, if you want to grab something from one of the Canva options, trying to think of an example for something you might use. I use reading as something I had, so you can just type that in the little search option, and then you'll see all the different categories. So if you want to grab for a photo, you can just click and it'll pop right into your document. And while it's still selected, you can drag and drop it wherever you prefer. And then if you want to adjust it, you can just double click and slide and then adjust the size, and you'll have it ready to go. Same thing with all the text here. As you add in your attributes or competencies, you'll have an opportunity to just edit these and start writing these out. And yeah, if you have any questions on some of these basics, please just pop those in the chat. We'll try to catch any questions you have on creating in Canva. But another part of the elements option is you'll see that you'll get magic recommendations. You'll also have the opportunity to choose graphics. So if you find a perfect graphic, you can also pop that in and it'll do the same thing that the image will. So kind of start building and playing, and hopefully getting something to a working draft state where you can then share it or save it. And so once you're done editing, which I know obviously you can't finish that in 2 or 3 minutes, but once you're done though, when you're ready to share and save it on your desktop or to print it out, you will navigate to the share option on the top right hand side of the screen. And you can click download, and then you can choose what file type. So JPEG or PNG would be ideal. And then you can edit the size and you can just hit download and it'll save on your desktop for you. If you want to share this with a team member, if this is a team exercise that you're doing together to brainstorm for 2026, you can share that template so they can create their own. But if you want to share your completed vision board, you can click on public view link there and it will just keep going through the steps, and then you can just hit copy. And then if you need to embed this anywhere, if you are embedding it in an online classroom or a forum, you can click on see all and it'll open up with even more options. And then you can click on embed. And what I would recommend using is keep clicking is the smart embed link and copying that and embedding it, because anytime you make changes to a vision board or anything that you're using in Canva, it will automatically update inside your classroom if you're making any changes on the document. So kind
Okay.
of helpful there.
Megan, let me pause you real quick. Jen's having trouble being able to edit, and I was wondering if anybody else is as well, or if maybe there's just a step we might have skipped with the template. Is anyone else having trouble editing?
No.
Okay. So back when you click right on the link, Megan, it's make a copy, correct?
You can just hit edit template. It should let you write in.
Okay. Jen,
Nice.
did you have an edit template come up?
Should look like this.
I did not, but I'll check again.
Okay, and I just popped the link again in there to see if that helps.
Yes, user error. I didn't scroll down. My fault. Thank you.
Hey, quick fix. Look at that. We still have time.
Quick tech support. All right, perfect. And then also, if you were sharing this in, let's say, a lecture, online lecture of some kind, if you ever want to create a QR code that links to your vision board or to anything that you're creating, you can just click on QR code and you just need to put in the URL. So to grab this, any of those share options that I showed you, so I'll go back and walk you through the steps. If you click on share, and then let's say you're going to do the public view link, and that means that your students can't edit your vision board, but they can view it. So you will grab that and then and if you're not seeing the QR code option, which I use it enough that it pops up as a ready to go option on the side, you'll just click on apps and you can find the QR code option inside of the apps area. But you'll just paste your URL in there and hit generate, and there is your QR code for your vision board. So if you ever want to share it that way, you are welcome to do that as well.
But ultimately, we really wanted to give you guys the opportunity because we know how time is of essence and we don't often have time to do these types of things. So our hope was that with the presentation, we'd leave you some time to be able to play with this yourself. Get the kinks out. If you have any questions or you run into something not working or you're not sure how to do something, have that opportunity to be able to ask us too while we're here, especially Megan, because she is a Canva genius.
So we'll let you have some time to create. I'm going to hop back over to the other part of our presentation here. Be back. Don't want to rush your creation process, but we do want to thank you for being with us and taking time to draft your own vision board and start to take a minute to reflect and hopefully create something tangible that you can not only use for you, but also guide your students through the steps of to help them on their journey with their academic journey, post-grad, whatever they have in front of them, and do as well. And here is a copy of the presentation, though, if you want to share it with anyone, or if you want to grab any of the links or any of the research later, here's a QR code that you can use for that.
And then down below is both mine and Megan's email addresses. So if you have questions pop up as you're diving in there, you want to get into something a little bit extra and you're not sure how to do it, please send us, a message and let us know. We can help you with that. Also, we'd love to just see what you come up with. If you want to be able to practice sending it to someone because you're not sure if you're sharing it properly and you want to give us a try, we're a safe place to share it. We'd love to see what you were able to come up with.
Yes. Please do. That'd be wonderful.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close this up here. I got kind of sucked into my vision board there. It does. It does take a little bit. I do for the pictures
Yeah,
and the colors and at the top row done, but I couldn't get to the next part. But I do want to thank you too for a magnificent presentation. I appreciate this exercise. I'm gonna show you what I have so far, and then I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna
Yay.
hopefully complete the version.
Excellent.
I also want to thank the audience for participating in this session today. In the chat, Herminder dropped the link. With that link, you're able to nominate this presentation for a conference award, hint, hint, or you can just leave any feedback you have for the presenters. So thank you all very much for your time. And ladies, thank you for your patience. Everything was great today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Andre.
Thank you.